wait.
Good morning. We just did the pledge. We haven't done anything else yet. The meeting is being audio and visually recorded, as usual. There is cause for executive session, but no need for action to be taken after it. Therefore, we'll do executive session at the end, as to be conscientious of everyone else's time. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from November 29th?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion being made and rightfully seconded. I'll ask if there's any amendments, discussion, public comment. All those in favor of approving the November 29th meeting minutes, please state aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. We have on today's agenda a corrections officer and register and reporter conversation, as well as a couple of human services requests. We'll start with the jail. Warden Collins, would you explain the situation?
I have a full-time correctional officer, Ashley Wood, accepted a position with Northwest, leaving me a full-time position. Joshua Warmath is part-time, most senior, worked the most hours. I'd like to promote him to full-time.
Very good. And salary is $15.65 an hour, full-time with union benefits. Do I hear a motion to approve the full-time hire of Josh Warmath?
Can I ask a question? Has this full-time position been posted for 10 days?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion being moved and seconded with effective date of December 15th. Correct.
This is just a replacement.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Public comment? All those in favor of promoting Josh Warmuth from part-time to full-time corrections officer effective December 15th at a salary of $15.65 an hour, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Do you have Ryan?
I do have Ryan Arthur on
Okay.
here.
For some reason, he's not on my agenda.
Yeah, it wasn't on the
I thought I
agenda.
stuck him on there.
Is there any objection to discussing Ryan Arthur? I have no idea what this is, but why don't you just tell us what the Ryan Arthur thing is about, and then we can decide whether we'll vote on it now or move it to the next meeting.
Ryan Arthur was promoted in April of this year. He had a starting salary of the 2007 rate for Chris Whittleson, the workplace coordinator. Chris Whittleson was at $21.21 when he departed, and Ryan Arthur started at $20.79, a difference of 41 cents.
Okay, could I have a motion, if the board wishes to hear this, can I hear a motion to amend the agenda to include Ryan Arthur?
I'll move to amend the agenda, please.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, Ryan Arthur's now on the agenda. What would the board like to do with this request? You're saying that you want to move him up 41 cents
Yes.
an hour?
When the work release coordinator, Chris Wilson, he retired, he was making $21.21 an hour. When Ryan started, he was making $20.79 an hour,
Okay.
which $20.79 was the 2017 rate. The 2018 rate was $21.21.
Okay. Are you asking for back pay?
No,
So, help me understand. So Chris was in the job for a number of years. Is this following what we normally do with the starting rate?
yeah, there's no pay scale for this position. Like if you get a CO position, you start part-time, CO1, CO2, and so forth. With the counselor position, Ryan's position as work release coordinator, that rate is determined by the union contract. Whatever the union gets, say 2%, that's what the non-union members also receive.
Okay.
Pam and I did look back at the salary board minutes too, and how would say about a training period, and then he'd be, and really looked at that.
Well, there was nothing said about that he went in making his current rate. to replace Chris, but then there was nothing stated that once Chris left, he would get an increase.
But it said something about a training period, that he would stay at that rate. But it wasn't specific as to when he would,
What was our
when
number?
training would be finished and.
Was his rate increased at all when he was
No.
promoted?
No.
I don't think it was.
No.
Yeah.
So in effect, he's past the probationary period. If they would have, I mean, if we would have that, right?
You built it into your budget?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to increase Ryan Arthur's pay to what has been presented here, which would be a $918 increase overall annually.
Hear a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
The motion, if I understand it correctly, is to increase his pay $852.80 plus FICA, effective December 15th.
Can I amend my
Yeah.
motion? I'd like to amend my motion for this to start January 1st. And I think that with, with some of the other things that are being done in relation to, pay countywide, that I think that's appropriate for him to start January 1st with the increase.
Second?
With this increase
With
alone?
this increase,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, I'm not sure where the contract, how far along it is. The 24 cents is what was discussed. Will that be included? Or,
I would say that this would be in replacement, or this would be his increase on January 1st, not to include the.
So he's gonna, so in effect, what you're saying, he's gonna miss the increase.
correct.
I didn't. Wouldn't he be getting the same increase that? So in the previous.
I don't necessarily have a problem either way. Okay.
So he's gonna get 2 raises though, essentially.
At the same time, I mean, it's gonna. My thing is that I guess we can discuss this. Is that his predecessor had worked at the jail for quite a time to build up that pay. It's a non-union position. It's not governed by the contract in any way. Technically speaking, we could give him no increase if we wanted to.
Correct.
I think that's a middle ground where, from my perspective, to some degree, we can't assume that every person that leaves, the person that's going to replace him is going to make the exact same wage. I mean, we have people here that have worked here 30 years, like in clerical positions that have built up a pay that if we hired someone to replace him, we wouldn't want to pay them the exact same amount. So I guess my perspective on it is that he would be getting a raise that would be substantially more than his peers, but it would be appropriate for the position that he's working in. So I would just, if the group as a body would support that without the 24 cents, fine. If the body feels like he should get both the increase and the 24 cents, I'm fine with that.
Well, the 24 cents will be dealt with at the next salary board meeting, which is just before the beginning of the new year, correct?
27th.
The 27th is when we'll be dealing with.
No. Those don't go through salary board.
He's non-union. We're dealing with all the non-unions at that meeting, correct?
The non-union would need to be increased in a salary board.
Exactly. So pretty much everyone in this room, besides electeds, will be discussing, including Ryan, at that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I understand that previously there was like an understanding that, it just goes along with it and all that kind of stuff. Technically speaking, every salary increase should be done through the salary board.
Right. So we will be doing that at the next board meeting. And tentatively, I think we'd be doing something different for almost everyone. So to me, the issue is not whether he's getting 24 cents or a percentage raise or whatever.
I just think that it should. I think that I guess the reason I'm making the amendment is that I just think that they should all just start January 1st.
Sure. Is there a second to that motion? Or excuse me, to the friendly amendment?
So you've revised it to be January 1st.
Yeah, instead of December 15th.
I'll second it with some discussion.
Okay.
Just thinking, what have we done in the past? If he started in April, he would have, I guess, in October, we should have addressed this, right? It's 6
Sounds
months
like it.
in effect.
Right.
If we were doing like a probationary period
Right.
kind of deal. I guess that's what I'm thinking of is when,
Well, actually, with Ryan, it should have went in April when Chris left, because he started working with him in February. But he wasn't the work release coordinator until April when Chris left,
okay.
and he never got a rate change at that point.
Well, okay, so I guess what I'm trying to dig down to is what have we done in the past?
He should have had a rate change in April.
But my understanding is there is no rate for this position.
It's
So it is
just-
what we make it.
Basically, yes.
And you don't have a probationary period?
Not for that position, no.
Not for the non-union positions.
Do we have rates for all our other
No.
salary positions?
Well, not for the
Okay.
non-union positions, yeah.
That's what I mean, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
For salary positions, we don't.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially making the exact same rate that he was prior to becoming the work release coordinator, which in my opinion technically is a greater degree of responsibility than just the typical
What was his position before?
CO.
Oh, he was just correct.
corrections officer. And I mean, to this date, I mean, would you say that you're happy with the work that he's done in that position?
Extremely, yes.
Yes. I mean, he definitely seems like he's been more proactive and, you know, trying to push the program, so.
What's the difference in pay from the outgoing coordinator to Ryan's?
41 cents.
Oh, that is the rate,
Yes.
okay. All right.
But I guess Jeff's other point, Chris had worked how many years
25, probably 26.
to get up to that point?
Right.
And we typically don't, I guess, with our union positions, we bring them in at the starting rate, right? Because of the contract. Not so much the leaving rate.
Right.
And I just have other examples outside the courthouse that I question. Why do we pay this person that person's outgoing rate when this person's just coming in? So,
Well, in this case, because it's a non-union position, it's not going to really comparable to the corrections officer.
right, but I'm just saying, from other examples I have outside, it's like I question, when this person leaves this job with this much experience,
Right.
why do we pay the new person coming in with less experience that rate? So,
I don't know that we've always done that. I mean, it's hit and miss. It depends on the situation.
yeah, see, that's what I was looking for. So I guess in the case of, with the motion as it is, to be effective January 1st, I can support that.
Okay.
With the 41 cents, January 1st, like Jeff has motioned.
Right.
And I think that the question of, you know, should they get the same rate as a person, I think that's a very valid point to make in every single case. You know, I think that you have to evaluate it case by case. In this case, you know, Ryan came in, took added responsibility with no increase. He's worked that job for almost a year. We're bumping him up $900, like after that period of time, and everybody that's worked with him feels comfortable with the work that he's doing. So regardless of whether he's kind of arbitrarily getting the rate that the person did previously, you know.
Furthermore, I think there's a question of effectiveness. Would you say that in terms of any metric that you could use, such as how many employers are being reached, how many people are actually getting out there, how many days are inmates actually working, has that increased
Yes.
dramatically?
Yes. Yes.
Like doubled, maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah, Ryan, I mean, he literally goes to businesses, knock on the door. I mean, he's very, very proactive, and he's definitely works in the best interest of the county. And I'm not saying that Mr. Whittleson didn't, but he started his retirement a little early, I think, and he just wasn't as proactive. But, yeah, Ryan does a fantastic job.
I'd like to comment, nothing against Ryan, I'm sure he's an excellent worker, but that is what we would expect from that position.
Sure.
We expect them to do their job. We don't have a merit-based performance
Right.
rate to raise rates, so.
Yes, but this is a position where he's getting a corrections officer's pay for something that is more responsibility than a corrections officer.
We don't have a rate of pay for his position, so that's debatable.
And that's why we have to arbitrarily set it based on whatever metrics we can come up with, whether it's the recommendation of the warden or other people.
All right, so the motion that's on the table right now is to increase by 42 cents an hour, ultimately for a biweekly pay of $1,696 effective January 1st. Is there any further discussion? Any comment from anyone else? All those in favor of the motion, please state aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We have the treasurer, and Commissioner Eggleston and Kaplan for, and Commissioner Morrison against. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is register and recorder. Mr. Bimber is here. Would you like to fill us in on the situation?
Marcella is retiring from this to fill her position, and I put it off till January, even though I selected her a while ago, so we didn't have as much overlap.
And how much of an overlap will there be?
Marcella's probably going to be done at the end of January.
Okay.
I mean, technically March, but she'll have a lot of vacation and such.
Right, and you're wanting 30 days overlap. It's salary board, but if you can slip by, welcome. Okay.
And then salary per hour, because that changes with the union.
It would change with the union
Okay.
contract, yes. So for now, we're passing it with,
This was the posted amount.
right, this
So
is
then
posted
would we
amount,
have to
so
do
we're,
another salary board, or will it just?
No.
Well, I don't know. I think when I was looking at this is something that we might want to have a discussion about later in the month after we review it, just because this is the current starting rate, correct? And the starting rates will be adjusted by the contract. So although
It'll automatically be adjusted.
if you made,
well, I mean,
yeah,
is her salary automatically going to be adjusted to the new starting rate?
Mhm.
Like,
it would be if the effective date were in 2017, but I think since we're specifically stating 2018, we really should just leave the salary blank to be
Yeah.
set by the start rate of the
yeah,
union contract,
yeah,
because it will be higher than that.
yeah. Yeah, and we'd say what the rate is, but the contract has not been signed yet, so.
Right.
Okay.
So, question, Lori, did she accept the job at 1188?
If that's what it was advertised for. I mean, I told her I was going to be going to salary board meeting, and I thought that it was going up a little bit
Mhm.
because of the union.
Okay,
And she's not starting till,
right, I understand that, but, so now, I don't even know what it's gonna be, but was when you leave it open as what the contract is gonna be, I have no idea what that is. So I guess I hope it's not detrimental to the person thinking that they're coming in at 1188 and
Well,
it's lower.
it's going to be more than
It's-
1188.
Well, I don't know that, so,
It's definitely going to be more
Okay.
than 1188.
and
okay.
she will get the new rate.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I would make a motion to accept Lisa Burkhouse effective 01/02/18 at whatever the starting rate is based on the union contract, which is going to be more than $11.88 per hour. $11.88 an hour.
I'll second that.
Motion properly seconded. This is a full-time position. Union. Is there any further discussion from the board? Any comment from anyone else in the room? All those in favor of hiring Lisa Burkhouse at the union start rate effective January 2nd, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Human Services, we have 2 time off requests without pay. Mary, would you please explain both of them?
Yes. The first one is Tammy Rice, who for personal reasons, she was requesting a week without pay. She's been a long-term employee though, and I mean, right before Christmas to take time off. If we could allow her, there's nothing that says that we can't, she's a mid-manager position, to allow her to use a week of her 2018 vacation.
Oh,
That was the request that came in last week.
So this is a,
She
Use
she will
20.
take it either way,
Okay.
because she needs the
I
time
was
off.
gonna say her request came in time without pay.
Right, but she asked, because she didn't know if she could ask if that was an option. And even though she's non-union, the union actually talked to us about it too. That
The
was
union
last
didn't-
week.
they had opinion? Or
They
didn't?
were all in favor of it,
Of either?
yeah, but they know Tammy and feel that, you know, that the agency
stick
could do
around.
that for her.
Okay.
She's not abusing time, she's asking to use her own time.
And remind me, your contract re-ups the vacation at the beginning of the year.
Well, we have it two ways. We're on a tier system. Employees that are long-term, she's a long-term employee, hers starts in January. We have other ones that are on their anniversary date, the newer workers. Like the next one coming up, he's on an anniversary date.
I see. Okay.
So is the request for time without pay then?
She, if possible, the request would be that she be able to borrow a week of her own time. Use it in advance, her 2018 vacation time, 5 days.
Before, what, in this month? Then?
Yeah, actually, she's off this week.
Oh, okay.
I mean, technically, it's only,
So the question before the board is, do we want to not excuse the absence? Do we want to let her have the week off without pay or take from 2018's vacation?
Do you have a recommendation, Mary?
I would like to see her be able to use a week in advance, just because she is a long-term employee. There are some personal issues, and it's, you know, before the holidays, like anyone else.
Based on Mary's recommendation, I'd make a motion to allow Tammy Rice to use a week of her vacation from 2018 and 2017.
Second it.
Motion is made and properly seconded to allow Tammy Rice to take 5 days from 2018's vacation allocation and use it in December 2017. Any discussion on the motion? Comment? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Joseph Bevevino?
Joseph is one of our new employees that started in October. He's a CYS caseworker. His wife is about to give birth. He's thinking it's the week of the 22nd, so being a new employee, he has no time. So he's just requesting the time without pay.
How many days?
He's not certain how many days.
No, it depends when the baby's born. If
Yeah.
it's born on a Saturday, it might be 1 or 2.
Right. If it's, you know, later, if it's
And he had
Christmas.
told us during the interview process
Right.
that his wife was expecting, and
Right. So is your recommendation up to 5 days?
Yeah, if he needs
Okay.
it.
I'd make a motion to allow Joseph Bevevino time off without pay according to the management of Mary Kushner, Director of Human Services.
Second.
The motion is properly seconded, and it is to allow Joseph Bevevino to take off time without pay at the discretion of the director.
Question. Does this fall under family medical?
no, he had to be employed for a year.
Okay.
And he just started in October.
Okay.
No, that's going to take care of it. No,
Yeah.
it does not.
Any further discussion or questions?
Okay, so if a person is eligible, what are the parameters?
That would be a qualifying event for family medical leave.
How much time?
12 weeks.
Okay.
But he'd have to use up all his vacation,
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
time. Otherwise, you just have to hold the job and be without pay.
Okay. And we're saying 5 days here. Okay.
If that, I mean, if she goes the end of the week, he's only going to use a couple of days before the holiday, and then we have the 25th and the 26th off.
I made the motion at the discretion of Mary just because if there's an extraneous circumstance, you know, if there's
And I
a
would bring that back to the
complication or
board.
something else, then that's something that
Okay.
can be evaluated.
Because, yeah, we never know what can transpire. so-
Right, and I'd bring that back to the board.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. The next meeting is scheduled for December 27th. This time, is there any public comment? Anything to bring to the board?
I'd like to make a motion to adjust the agenda for anyone here.
Agenda for what?
Adjust the agenda for an issue I'd like to bring and discuss.
Is it exempt for executive session?
I don't know. I don't know if we should do it here or in executive, I'm not sure. What are the parameters?
The parameters for executive session for section 708 includes involving employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation, performance, promotion, or discipline.
So it's a pay rate.
Yeah, that could. Is it related to the union?
Pardon me?
We're about to go into executive session. You can come in for 30 seconds if you want. This is the salary board meeting, and we're about to go into executive session. So.
Okay.
We can discuss it in executive.
All right, you're just not. We just won't move to adjourn. All right. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we're in executive session. You two.
Do you want me to leave and do his and then I'll come back in, or?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll call Mary back in.